Hello, my name is Peter Greenlaw, and I'm the founder of the New Health Conversation Movement, which I think we sorely need as a registered trademark with the U.S. Patent Office. Today, what I want to talk to you about is a study that I've actually talked about before. You can see it there, the New England Journal of Medicine, which is probably one of the most highly regarded medical journals in the world. So the study was done on calorie restriction with or without time-restricted eating and weight loss. Well, what that means kind of in English is they had some participants, they just put them on a low-calorie diet. The other group, they did this, the rage has been intermittent fasting with this time restricted where you don't eat for 16 hours and you eat for 8, okay? So will you be the judge? After 12 months on the just lowering calories, not the time restricted portion, people lost about 16 pounds, where on the time restricted, they lost about 14 pounds. So they actually lost less weight on the time restricted version, intermittent fasting, than they did on just lowering calories. And they even said that in conclusions, I'm reading from the study, among patients with obesity, a regimen of time restricted eating was not more beneficial with regard to reduction in body weight or than just lowering calories. You see, we're all chasing this magic potion, lotion, whatever, okay? Well, based on the studies that I've been stating over and over again, you can look at in a year's time about a weight loss of somewhere between 10 on the low side and 16, 18 pounds on the high side. But in every single study, they say that the majority of the weight loss, unfortunately, is water and lean muscle. That's just a given fact, okay? Now, the reason for that is really pretty simple, and that is that when you analyze what's going on with our food in this country, it's becoming more and more nutritionally bankrupt, okay? So let's just start out with that premise. Whether it's, broccoli, spinach, apples, oranges, there's just simply less nutrition. And what happens when you go on a diet and you lower calories, what they don't tell you, you're also lowering nutrition. Well, if the food's already nutritionally bankrupt, not bankrupt, but almost, and then you go on a diet and you lower calories more, you're lowering nutrition, but they don't tell you this. And so what the body has to do in response to not enough fuel, it freaks out. And what does it do? It goes and looks for the nutrition. And where does it find the nutrition? The most denser is in our body for nutrition are our organs, our brain, our kidney, our liver, our heart, our lungs, and our muscles. And what the body does first, it goes because it doesn't have enough fuel and the body can't run on calories. It doesn't even know what a calorie is. Why are we counting them? Because someone told us to. But it doesn't make any sense. And these studies have proven it over and over again that yes, you can lose weight on any diet, but it's the wrong kind of weight, okay? Now, so what happens when you force your body into converting your muscles into carbohydrates for fuel, the body also in response is to do what? Slow down metabolism. And when you slow down metabolism, that's why the weight loss really peters out. And then if you go off the diet, even though if you go back to eating healthy, you gain all the weight back rapidly. Because the problem is when you slow down your metabolism, you can't burn as many calories. It's really that simple. It's not complicated. And if we have 80% of America overweight, and 50% of those people obese, and half the 50% are clinically obese, and they now say that there's more people obese, percentage-wise, than people that are just overweight. So we've crossed that bridge where people aren't just becoming overweight, but there are more people that are becoming actually obese. And yet we keep spinning. We go to, all these new diets. I mean, it's the rage. Go to Barnes & Noble, which I recommend highly. Go to the diet section. There's so many books, there's so many diet approaches and gurus and people, but here's one of the big problems. When you look and you rely on science, which we do at the New Health Conversation, that's all we rely on, and you see the real evidence, and the authors of the studies are saying this is really good result. Well, there's some great news. There are 2 new human trial studies. A peer-reviewed human trial, there's nothing higher. You'll hear the term clinical trial. The clinical trial is a prelude to getting a peer review, okay? No drug ever gets approved without a peer-reviewed study, number one, all right? So in 2 new peer-reviewed human trials that have been released in the last several months, on a revolutionary new approach called intermittent nutritional fasting, not intermittent fasting, and something called protein pacing. 80% women, 20% men, no one even allowed to exercise. They lost weight in a month, 16 pounds, which took a year in the New England Journal of Medicine study and many other studies. But here was the kicker. Everyone gained 6 to 9% lean muscle mass. So not only didn't they lose lean muscle, they gained lean muscle. Can you imagine that? But that isn't even the best part. The CDC has said that 9 out of 10 Americans are metabolically unhealthy if you have 3 of the 5 factors: overweight, high blood pressure, high blood sugar, high cholesterol, high triglycerides. All 5 came down dramatically in just 30 days. My goodness. Blood pressure came down about 14%. Triglycerides came down by almost 25%. Inflammation came down by 25%. And in 8 weeks, people lost an astounding 33%, a third of their visceral fat. You got 2 kinds of fat on your body. You have the fat right under the skin that's called subcutaneous or adipose, and then you have the really hard fat around our organs called visceral. And sadly, the world we're living in today, because it's so toxic, the water, the air, the food loaded with chemicals, as we ingest them because we can't control it, the body, to survive, takes the chemicals and stuffs them inside our visceral fat. And that's why it's so important in these studies where they proved that this was removing chemicals from the body, and that's the only way the visceral fat went down. So if you're really serious about maximizing your health, because there's a new term now called normal weight obesity, defined as visceral obesity, really just means when they analyze someone who looks thin and the amount of fat, visceral fat they have in relation to muscle, they're actually considered obese. Not my term, that's a new term. What you have to understand, in medicine now, we're evolving, we're going to what's called precision medicine. So they're doing things like immunotherapy, they're really being much more specific in the treatment outcomes. Well, this is basically, these studies proved precision nutrition, which basically centered on the fact, can we give the body what used to be in the food in North America? And fortunately, they used elements that had to come from all over the world. They came from Russia and China, Mongolia and Bangladesh, even Tibet, literally from the Himalayas. I mean, from the side of the Himalayas in South America and New Zealand, to make up for the deficiency. It's not that we're completely out of the ingredients, but the quantities have gone down so much. We're producing these mountains of calories with very little nutrition. And so what happens when you feed your body calories, which the body doesn't run on calories, it runs on nutrition. That's why you eat and you're still never really full, because your body's not craving calories, it's craving nutrition. So I would invite you to think about this. Take a look. Click on the link below, and you can find out. Go to the website and you'll see free information. No tricks, no celebrity endorsements. Just the real facts about these new human trial peer-reviewed studies. So I hope this has been helpful, and we look forward to seeing if we can help you, okay?